Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stop what you're doing. Stop playing the game. Settle down at the crib. Stop cleaning. Stop cooking. Because over here is just oops. I'm Amari. This is Darion. Today we're gonna hop into the men's side of conference tournament predictions. But before we begin, as always, how you feeling, my brother?
Feeling good. Good week. I got an opportunity to be a studio host for women's March Man or not March Madness, Big Ten tournament today. Tough loss to USC, but still good to get the opportunity to get the reps in. Only up for here.
Yeah, bro. Definitely probably tough to see the Hoosiers fall, but at least the prediction's still in order.
Yeah.
Both of our predictions still solid. Ain't missed yet. Um, Today on the men's side, we are gonna do the same conferences as the women. ACC, Big 12. We didn't do Big 12 for women, did we?
No.
ACC, Big 10, SEC, Big East, Missouri Valley, and Big 12. That's what we're gonna hop into today. Before we begin, though, said that we were gonna make this a regular going forward. And I feel like this should be a more beginning of the episode thing. Just
Yeah.
get us off, get us.
Get us going.
So Mari's question of the day. I don't know. I have one.
I have a question. We'll change it to D Watt's question of the day today. Um, I heard this when I was in TV last week, 2 weeks ago, and it was a great question that stuck with me. And if you are a commissioner of any league, any sport, like soccer, baseball, NBA, NFL, anything, if you could be in their position for one season, what would you change?
See, I was about to take your question for my question of the day, but NBA, I definitely have some ideas. First of all, back to high school, being able to go into the league. Christmas Day jerseys coming back, nickname jerseys coming back, and I would at first add the 1v1 tournament to All Star, but then I'm also adding professional dunkers in a
Hmm.
dunk contest.
That's a good one.
Substitute the dunk contest and let NBA players have the 1v1 contest and have a professional dunk contest. And it would grow the game kind of.
Yeah.
It gives people another pathway to get on an NBA stage.
Yeah. And you got like those YouTubers who be doing the crazy dunks you never see.
Right,
Like you'd be like, no way, a real person just did that. Uh,
right.
so yeah, it would help expand the game, give them opportunity to shine. My pick is what did I do? I would pick men's college basketball, but I wouldn't change much. The only thing I would do is take away all the commercial breaks. The commercial breaks every 4 minutes. I just think that's very unneeded and it slows down the pace of the game. Going to the next level, they don't get those breaks as often. It's more of a continuous running game. So I think you bring it down to two timeout breaks a game, maybe at like the 10 or it's 20-minute halves. So like maybe the 12 and 4 there. Like you get 8 minutes of gameplay, then you got to start utilizing your bench, use your team more wisely. Um, and it just helps with stamina, conditioning, like all that. It just help. I think it'll help adjust to the next level.
But as a commissioner, you have to think about the biggest factor,
The money.
money. And these timeouts are media timeouts, commercials and advertisement stuff like that is the biggest source of revenue for teams and for organizations. So, I mean, while that would be good as a spectator to take that away and be able to just get constant gameplay, it would be probably bad as a commissioner from a money side of things.
Yeah.
I do think though college basketball games are very short. I feel like the halves go by very quick. Second half is always a little longer. because games are most of the time close, and you get timeouts down the stretch, fouls, fouls become more important, and there's more natural stoppages of the game.
Yeah. With the or with the media timeouts, maybe even if they go like how the NBA does sometimes, they'll be in timeout, they'll have like a camera in the huddle or whatever, and they'll have an ad playing here. Even
Yeah,
that would be just to keep, camera on game, and it's just not like every time you look away, you look back, it's a commercial break, just so it's
definitely.
constantly on the game. But yeah, the money factor, that is always going to be the main reason for anything commercial wise. And yeah, they are shorter. But I don't think that's much of a fix. I think the 20-minute halves, I like that better than quarters. I think it speeds it up, but it also slows it down in a sense. And it's just different. Like I don't think that college basketball in four quarters, it wouldn't be the same game. I don't feel like.
Mm. We see the women's though. So do you think the women should adopt the 20-minute halves?
No, I think the women's stay quarters. I just it fits the men's game. Like
Mm.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I've always seen it that way. Um, but I just feel like it fits the game well. And I just it's a long, I mean, I guess it's still 40 minutes either way. Um, I don't know. I
I
just,
think well, as far as the commercial side of things, I do agree with you because as a viewer, when you're at home watching the game, the commercial break seems so much longer than when you're at the game and it's just a timeout.
yeah,
Like that's my big thing with why I never really watch full NFL games because there's so many like after every change of possession there's a commercial break, and when you're at the game like those go by fast. And
yeah,
I'm not somebody that goes to a lot of NFL games, but being at an NFL game is so much more enjoyable than watching at home because it feels like you're always focused on the action instead of these commercials that nobody really wants to see.
yeah. I mean, I feel like being there live, I feel like with the timeouts and stuff, they're always doing something. They got stuff going on in the field or basketball, they got t-shirt throwing. Like they keep you entertained. But even then, that feels shorter than watching five commercials. Like,
For sure.
I don't know. But like women's basketball with the quarters, their commercials aren't as high. I think they have a commercial break a quarter, and then at the end of the quarters, they go commercial break, which would essentially still be four technically. But I don't, maybe because how it's broken up, it's not as bad, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely something that probably won't end up changing.
No.
But the quality of games is about to pick up, so hopefully, there's more ability to tune in through those commercials and stay attentive to the actual game. We should go ahead and hop on into these predictions. Do you have ACC first on your list?
I had Big Ten, but we could go ACC.
All right, ACC. It was pretty straightforward for me. Not even a lot of reasoning had to really go into this. It's Duke for me as my prediction, my winner. Best best team by far. They, the game that they had during conference play, they handled them easily. Other than the Clemson game, I mean, they got the best player in the conference, biggest point differential in the country. I got to hear 22.4 plus 22.4, biggest point differential in the country. I mean, probably the best team in the country. If I think personally right now, I don't see a team in the ACC really messing with them.
Yeah, I had Duke as well. I didn't have I think that loss to Clemson showed that they are crackable, but I believe they're only crackable by Clemson. I don't think any other team in the ACC gives them a run for their money besides
Mm.
Clemson. Um, and the ACC that's just a weak division as a whole. Outside of those top three teams, really. But yeah, everything else you said, I agree with. Flag, best player in the country, really. Averaging 20. And then they have an old team. They got some vets there that know They know what to do tournament time. Um, so yeah, they shoot the ball 49%. Like, shooting the ball almost 50% from the field is that's a crazy number right there, first of all. But yeah, I think that they run away in the tournament if they get past Clemson or when they match up against Clemson. I think they get them this time.
See, the thing is, though, I can see Clemson falling to somebody else. I can't see Duke falling to really anybody else.
Yeah,
We saw what they did to North Carolina. I mean, everybody that they played, they won comfortably. Like, there was never a game other than the Clemson game, really, that during conference play at least, that they really struggled with. I mean, we saw them kind of breeze through all the rest of these teams.
yeah. No, they definitely. I'm gonna say what game did I see last? Wake Forest, I think, and that was I ended up turning it off because they were just killing them.
Yeah.
They just they do just walk through their division pretty easily.
Um, I want to pivot to the Big East next
Okay,
because it's another conference that for me it was really straightforward.
me too.
It's St. John's.
Yeah,
That's my pick. Number six team in the nation, and in the Big East is not that deep anymore. I feel like the Big East is a conference that teams are on and off. There's teams in there that definitely have good tournament runs, good seasons. UConn, Seton Hall has been a problem for teams. Providence has been good every now and then. Xavier, I mean, but St. John's this year is on another level, I feel like, than the rest of the teams in this conference.
yeah. No, I had St. John's as well. I seen a video the other day of something about Rick Pitino's coaching. Um, I think he was talking about the team's conditioning or something. And he was like, in practice, I don't make my players go 100 because I know they're going to give 100 in game. And it's like, from a coach knowing a player's mental, like taking the time to understand your players, I just think that goes a long way. And being able to like understand to not make them push them that hard every day in practice because that you know that they're going to come up in game time and like play to the ability they can play at. And having that understanding, I believe that that helps go a long way.
I never heard that quote from him, but I feel like I'm a big believer in practice should be harder than the games because when you come up against better teams, right now they're in the Big East. They haven't played some of the best teams in the nation. When you come against some of these big teams, I mean, if you're not practicing at 100%, they're not as talented as these SEC teams, Duke, some of the Big Ten teams. They're not as talented, and I feel like a team like St. John's should win games by outworking these bigger teams.
I mean, when you look at the numbers, they do outwork teams. And then you got Rick Pitino, one of the greatest coaches ever. He's a coaching mastermind. So in a close game, I can I would believe he would draw up something beautiful and great, and he could help his players get into that like a lock-in mentality and help them push past one of these great teams, just because of his experience and coaching ability.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have any more on the Big East.
No.
It was pretty clear St. John's for me. Um, which one what do you want to pivot to next?
Um, I was gonna say we could stay out east, but I guess Big Ten is everywhere now. But we can go Big Ten.
Let's rock Big Ten. Go ahead, tell me a winner. I'm pretty sure this will be the first time through our six predictions that we have something different.
Yeah, I did. If you have the same team as me right here, I'm gonna
No, I'm kind of worried now that you said that
be.
because, all right, go ahead.
I have Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay, we have something different.
Um, they play well. They win by margins. They beat Washington by 26, Illinois by 21, Nebraska by 28, USC by 15. First time they played Minnesota by 21. Their last loss, the largest loss of the season, was 6 points, or not of the season, in conference play, was 6 points to Michigan State, who I didn't pick because they've shown that they can be beatable. They lost a Indiana team. Um, they've lost they lost to some teams that they shouldn't have lost to. They didn't take care of business there. So I believe that they're crackable. And then this Nebraska or this Wisconsin team, they also last year they knocked off number one Purdue in tournament, and then they lost to Illinois in the championship, but happens. And they also beat Purdue this season by 10. They know how to play. They're a good team. They're number 12 in the nation. They got great players. John Tonji, 19 points a game. John Blackwell, 15 points a game. They don't turn the ball over. They shoot 47% from the field. I I think tournament time they'll pull it through, and I like their odds against all these other Big Ten teams.
For me, I have the number 13 team in the nation, Maryland. For me, Maryland has the most like all around team. Um, I was talking a lot last episode about teams that win by committee, and Maryland is a team that all five starters score double-digit points per game. Now, a question that I do have about Maryland is the depth, because their next highest score off the bench is only at 4 points per game, 3.9, basically. But Maryland third in the conference in points per game, first in point differential in the conference, second in points allowed. Now, in order to win games in a one game tournament, you have to have a consistent offense that shows up every game.
Yeah,
And if that offense happens to slip, you have to have defense that could keep you in the game. And as I said, they have both third in the conference in points per game, second in points allowed. I mean, this is a team that has built momentum through the year. They had some pretty bad losses at the start, losing to some teams at the bottom of the Big Ten. But I mean, through the year, the losses that they had, I feel like as a coach, as a fan, you're fine with.
yeah,
The half court buzzer beater to Michigan State, the buzzer beater against Northwestern, the close game against Ohio State. Now, as a fan, you might say this might be a problem in tournament play, closing these big games out. But I don't. I feel like these situations are. I don't want to say luck, but come on, a half court buzzer beater shot, the Northwestern shot with 1 second left. Like, I don't think that these are consistent things that they're doing to cause them. You know what I mean?
right, right. I'm not mad at that pick. That's definitely a sleeper team in this 15 teams in the who are making it. They beat Purdue, if I'm not mistaken. Or did they end up?
Hmm.
Yeah, they knocked off Purdue.
Yeah,
You said they had some tough losses as well, but they their starting five is nice. They know how to play. I can see them making a sneaky run for sure. I'm just glad we both didn't pick somebody from the top of the barrel.
yeah,
But I think this is one of those conferences that's like it's anybody's game, really.
for sure. And the SEC, obviously, we're gonna get into that. That in this conference right here, I feel like it was the most worried I was about having a wrong pick. Michigan State, for me, the offense isn't consistent enough.
Yeah,
Um, you know, I when I was watching that Michigan State UCLA game where they were able to pull that game out, but when their initial set gets broken, there's nothing, you know, to follow that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They struggle to generate scored opportunities after that initial set gets broken down. And that's a problem because teams are obviously studying you hard going into these playoff games, and they're going to know some of your sets, and you got to be able to adjust and adapt and still find ways to score.
Yeah, no, they lost me at the IU game. Once IU switched to that zone and their whole offense just fell apart, it just showed like you said, that first set, they're done after that. If you could take away that first set, they just get clueless, like they don't know what to do.
Right.
And that, yeah, like in tournament time, teams, they're gonna study you hard and they know what you're gonna do, who you're gonna go to, and what situation.
Mhm.
And you can't adapt and make changes on the fly, you're not gonna be able to win.
Yeah, bro. This is definitely a conference tournament that you want to pay attention to.
Yeah, for
Anybody could win. There's how many ranked teams? Five or six ranked teams in the Big Ten.
five, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, Michigan State, Michigan, Wisconsin,
Maryland.
Maryland, Purdue is still ranked.
Yeah,
Five.
I think that's it. Yep.
Five teams ranked. A couple teams that were ranked earlier in the year. I think Ohio State started the year ranked. Um, yeah, bro. But going to the next conference that I have here, Big 12.
The Big 12. This one, I feel like this was kind of easy for me. I had Houston. I didn't feel like no other team really stood out to me. Um, and I just like the way Houston plays. They got LJ Cryer, 15 points a game, and they have four, including him, four players who average double digits. Um, they play they play a very physical, high brand of basketball. They shoot the ball a lot. They have the third highest three-point percentage in NCAA. They're shooting what was it, 49%? No, I forget what it was, but third highest. But saying that, talking about three-point percentages, I got a question for you. Who shoots the highest three-point percentage in college basketball?
Bradley Braves. The Bradley Braves. Come
The
on now.
Bradley.
Come on now. How about
The
the
Bradley
Braves?
Braves.
The Bradley Braves.
Yeah. But then they got Milo Uzon, who is seventh in assist to turnover ratio, 3.27. You have a player who can swing the rock and not turn the ball over, who makes the right play. I think that'll help you in the long run in a tournament. And in the division, their only losses to Texas Tech. They're 18-1 in division play. And every other game they've killed. So I can't see anybody besides Texas Tech maybe giving them a run. That's not true, but I think that they walk through pretty easily.
Yeah, I have Houston as well. Um, it's another team that you don't know who's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you touched on it, LJ, the highest scorer, most likely to have a big game. But their whole starting five can have a big game and be the player that leads them in scoring. They've won nine straight. They have a lot of meaningful wins through this time. The Big 12 is no slouch of a conference. They won three away games at Texas Tech, Kansas, Arizona. And yeah, the Texas Tech game that they lost, it was a close game in overtime. Texas Tech played probably the best game of their season in that game to get the win. And they've showed, even though they lost that game in overtime, it was a 1 point victory, I believe, for Texas Tech. They've shown that they can win close games. Arizona, UCF, Kansas. The Kansas game was a double overtime game. Arizona was a close game. UCF, they only won by 1 point away. They've shown that they can win these close games, and I mean they have the best defense in the conference by a wide margin, best defense in the country by terms of points allowed. So I mean, this is a team that really covers and checks all the boxes.
Yeah, they check every box on the list. It's everything you want. And I just think they've proved that, they can own this conference, and I can't see that not carrying over into tournament play. I
Yeah.
have a sleeper pick for this conference, so I have BYU. If they win their last game, they're coming into the tournament on an 8-game win streak, and they look good. They play poised. They play nice brand of basketball. I think they can make a sneaky run in the Big 12 tournament.
BYU is a tier I always say when I'm talking about BYU. When BYU playing, you know it's going to be a good game. At
Yeah,
least BYU is going to have a good game. That I feel like a lot of their games are really close down the stretch. Is high scoring. They're an exciting team to watch, and I mean they're really you don't want to you don't I don't think you want to see BYU as a
no, yeah,
as a as a top team. Like BYU is they're a team that I feel like teams really fear playing.
yeah. I would being a 1-2 seed. I absolutely would not want to see BYU be one of the
Facts,
first teams I play in a tournament
facts, facts.
because not only are they going to exhaust us, we might not even be able to pull out a victory against them. And if we do, we have to play the next day, and we're tired after a long battle with them. So yeah, no,
Right,
I don't want to see them.
right. Yeah, man. Yeah, BYU definitely a sleeper pick. Uh, Iowa State, Arizona, Kansas, all really inconsistent. They haven't shown real consistency throughout the season, and consistency is key. And when you have to win multiple games in a playoff setting, the pressure's high. You got to be able to be consistent, and those teams have not shown consistency all year.
Yeah. If you would ask me at the beginning of the season, I'm going Iowa State. I thought
Yeah,
they started off so hot and I was like, what is going on? But they did fall off.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they were number one team in the country at one point.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
And like four straight, I
right.
think.
It's crazy that they're still at 8. And speaking of number one seed, when I was doing the SEC, which we're gonna get to next, um, Tennessee, a team that started off as, number one team in the nation, still number 8, something like that right now, 6 or 8, one of the two. I know
Well,
Bama's 7. Um, but it's crazy to see how much conference play has affected them. 6 losses in conference play as a team that was undefeated going into it. Number one team in the nation going into conference play. And I feel like, SEC ball has really exposed some of their flaws.
I, I don't even know if it's flaws. I just think SEC is so tough. I don't remember what game I was watching, but one of the commentators like all these SEC teams cannot wait for the tournament and not have to play SEC teams every game.
Yeah, facts.
Like
They're playing tournament ball right now.
like they're just the brand of SEC basketball is so high and competitive. It is like it drains the teams. You could be playing so great and one of the SEC teams is just even greater. Like it's just hard. It's hard to win in the SEC.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
with Tennessee, I think I wouldn't even call them flaws. I think they just simply get outplayed sometimes, and it's a hard brand of basketball to play being in the SEC.
Yeah, so for me, when I'm picking my winner, I feel like first, before I say who my winner is, it all depends on matchups. It all depends on who gets matched up with who, whose path looks like what. We still have games to play Saturday, Alabama, Auburn to play Saturday, and there's no right answer to this prediction because anybody can win.
Yeah,
Anybody can win this conference right here. For me, Florida, their run to the tournament was looking really good. And it was gonna be Florida for me as my pick. But then they lost to Georgia, one of the unranked teams in the conference. They were ranked at one point, top 10, I believe, 10 or something like that.
I don't remember, but they were ranked. I think they were
They
10.
they I think they were 10 on the dot,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. But Florida lost to them, ruining their win streak going into conference play. Um, Everyone has pretty notable losses recently. So there's nobody that's really coming into this tournament like really hot. Auburn just lost to Texas A&M. Alabama just lost to Tennessee. That you don't know.
don't know.
And I want to hear your winner first.
I went with Auburn. I think this loss to Texas A&M is, I think, it's gonna light a fire in them. You know, we've seen Auburn play. They play hard, and we've seen them lose to Florida. Then they come out, go on a win streak, lose to Texas A&M. I think going into the tournament, mm, sorry to say this, but knock off Bama on Saturday. Get a good win before going into the tournament, and you're still upset about that loss. I think that they, will show their upsetness, not only those losses, but they've also knocked off the entire SEC, 17-2 conference play. Um, and a team with chemistry like the chemistry they have, you see the post game, see them with their belts. You see them in the locker room turned up. They just, why are you making that face?
Because you sound like a fan.
I'm just saying what I see.
Nah, bro. I got two teams here. Tennessee, the tournament is being played in Nashville,
How
Tennessee.
you gonna have Tennessee win it after you just said that they have flaws?
I have Tennessee. Tennessee is 15-1 at home in conference play. The tournament has been played in Nashville, Tennessee. That's my only reason for Tennessee. The second team I have is Texas A&M. Texas A&M experience. So many seniors on this team. You know, uh, like give me Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's gonna win Saturday against Auburn. Alabama is still the highest scoring team in the nation. Alabama leads the nation in rebounds. Alabama Crimson Tide is gonna pick up momentum, beating Auburn Saturday, and head into this tournament and win the SEC.
Talking about sounding like a fan. Anyways, I don't even know. So much just happened. Back to the Tennessee. You can't. How you go? Was that a joke?
My
Was
prediction?
was Tennessee a joke or was that serious?
I mean, it had a little seriousness to it. I would say they're a sleeper pick for me.
You can't you can't say them as your first option after that was your team that you used as your example of weakness in the SEC.
No, 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 you misunderstood then, brother. So what I was trying to get at there is a team falling from number one, like Iowa State, you know, they're still a good team, but being in the SEC has shown some flaws. They have five losses on the road. The tournament is being played in Nashville, Tennessee. They're 15-1 at home. I feel like home court advantage, it's not being played on campus, but
Right.
it's going to be deeper in there for Tennessee fans. Uh, it might play a factor for them.
Okay. I'll give them sleeper. What was the second team you said?
Texas A&M.
I do like they play some great defense. I love their defense. I could see a sleeper there as well. Alabama. I mean, like we said, there's no right answer with this. I'm not mad at Alabama pool. I think Alabama recently has shown that they're crackable. Um, Even with the high brand of basketball they're playing. I know Mark had a couple of 30 balls back to back. Um, but I think that they have shown that they're crackable to these SEC teams. And I don't know. I still think Auburn's gonna have that fire lit in them after that loss.
There was no way on this earth that I was picking Auburn to win the SEC.
I knew you weren't picking them. That's
Yeah,
infuriating
bro,
for you. I'm real. You're a fan.
that's not true. I truly believe that Alabama is going to win the SEC.
I knew who you
And,
were picking by the sweatshirt. I already did.
you know, Auburn, I mean, good basketball team for sure, but they got to deal with Alabama. And yeah, you can say, they won earlier in the season. It's a fill out game. These regular season games, they're fill out games. Alabama got their one fill out game already. They play Saturday. They're gonna win, getting this momentum going into the tournament, and they're gonna discover their recipe for beating Auburn in the tournament. If Auburn gets through the other teams that they got to go through.
But Alabama's going on a run no matter what
Yes.
type. Can I can I drop some stats real quick that I thought were interesting?
I mean, we can hop to the Missouri Valley if you want.
So like Auburn, six players who averaged over 10 points. One of those off the bench, by the way. Um, this is really what I was talking about. This is not even like this has nothing to do with the game. I just thought this was crazy. Broom has 100 offensive rebounds himself this season. I that with your team has 357, you have 100 of those. That's crazy. And that really just caught my eye. But that's all. I just, one player can out rebound your entire team by itself. You know what I'm saying? It's just
That's cool and all, but Cooper Flagg's still the National Player of the Year. Um, so hop into the Missouri Valley. You know what? Well, do you have a winner here?
I have a winner.
Talk to me.
Um, I'm going with the Belmont. Rocking with my boy Sammy Buckets, Missouri
First
Valley,
of all,
all
first
team
of all,
freshman. Belmont.
time
Sorry.
out.
Sorry.
You can't pick them and say their
Bel
name wrong.
Belmont. Sorry.
I don't know who Belmont is.
Belmont. I'm rocking with the Missouri Valley, all freshmen, Sam Orm. Um,
Red shirt.
Freshman is freshman. You a freshman, ain't you?
Not no red shirt. Go ahead.
Just go ahead and say your Braves, bro. Like, go ahead.
Missouri Valley, I'm rocking with the Bradley Braves. Highest scoring, highest 3-point percentage in the country. Win by committee team. Never know who is gonna pop out and win the game for the team. It could be Duke Dean. It could be Darius Hannah. It could be Zeke Montgomery. It could be real true freshman Jaquan Johnson off the bench. It could be anybody. The Bradley Braves are the deepest team in the Missouri Valley. And Drake, great basketball team for sure. Drake does not have the offensive caliber to hang with the Bradley Braves.
Belmont, Bradley Braves championship game. I think you're not gonna admit it, but we know who's really winning that game.
Here's the thing: Bradley's gonna be in the championship. Belmont got to go through Drake. Drake is not losing to Belmont.
Can't say that it's tournament ball.
We'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. And
Have,
and I can't wait to text you after the game and
have you
tell
ever
you
have you ever watched March Madness?
this
You
ain't
know,
March Madness. This is
you know,
Arch. This is Arch Madness.
you know
This
how
is in
many
St. Louis,
teams
Missouri. This is the Missouri Valley Conference. This is not March Madness yet.
you know how many teams that are not supposed to lose games in these tournament settings.
Not happening tomorrow though. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna see Drake. We're gonna see Bradley in the tournament final Sunday. I will be in attendance and I will be on the court when Bradley Braves is holding that Missouri Valley Trophy.
How are you getting on the court?
We on the court.
Y'all storming the court?
I hope so.
I don't think you can storm the court at this. I think
No, I feel like that's what happens. I think I've seen videos of when they won a conference, a couple years ago, people was on the court. So I just assumed that I would have the same privilege this year.
well, I hope you could do that, I guess. Big Ten, we keep it classy. Uh, I don't know what y'all got going on in Missouri, but I guess.
Whatever, bro. So we'll keep an eye on all of these tournaments and keep up with the predictions that we made. Let's keep track too. See who had the most right predictions. We have the women's, all of ours are the same,
Yeah.
so the score will be the same for the women's. But we'll keep track of the SEC. What else do we have? Different. Missouri Valley. Is
Missouri
that it?
Valley, SEC, and
Big
Big
Ten.
Ten. Yep.
So we'll keep track of those. See who was had the most right or who was the closest to having right if both of our picks somehow happen to lose. Um, but yeah, before we get out of here though, I want to talk about the game last night. The New York Knicks versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Last night we saw probably in my opinion, game of the season. This game had playoff a playoff feel to it. The physicality was at a level that I haven't seen in a long time. We saw big shot making, questionable calls on both sides, great adjustments from coaches. Coach Tibbs, the Lakers came out quick. Coach Tibbs had to make an adjustment on how they guard the pick and roll, and they were able to shut the Lakers down for long stretches of time. I did not. I thought that this game, I thought the Knicks were going to be able to run away, and the Knicks. The problem was they let the Lakers hang around that 10 point deficit. And eventually they started getting stops and shots started falling. And they slowly started bringing that lead back down to where it got to three. And the Lakers kept getting stops. The Lakers got big stops down the stretch, and that ultimately won them the game.
Yeah, I also believe the injury of Brunson played a factor in this win. Unfortunately, um, Brunson was cooking, and he was showing some emotions I haven't seen him show before. Um, Talking to the fans after and one, but this is definitely one of the best games of the season. I got some bias. See, I got my Grizzlies versus Suns. They was chirping and getting into it too, but this the intensity was there for sure in this game. Definitely playoff energy. And Braun and Luca, they just no, they just showed again why they're gonna work. Braun 31, Luca 32. I mean, it's only gonna get better with time, and they're the pieces are starting to be connected.
Yeah, man, they start calling him Bronchich, best duo in the league. I saw Braun last night sitting in the corner, hitting, catching three. I mean, catch and shoot threes. I mean, this is something that we've never seen from LeBron, and I truly do believe this might add a year or so to his career. Playing alongside Luca, he's never had a teammate of this caliber that plays with the ball like Luca does.
Yeah.
You know that play makes like Luca, that creates shots for everybody else like Luca. He's had some stars in the other stars in the past, obviously, but playmaking has not been their role. It's always been LeBron with the ball in his hands, LeBron making all the decisions, and this is something completely different that we've seen from LeBron now in the later stages of his career.
Yeah, I would argue first time in his career that we could see LeBron being a number two option. And LeBron wanting to be a pass first player already anyways, and you give him a number one where he can utilize that, it puts everybody in trouble when he could be what he really wants to be. He had 8 assists last night. Luca had 12. Like you two players of high IQ basketball see everything, know everything. It, there's only so much you could do as a coach and as an opposing player.
You got to shout out Gabe Vincent too. Huge shots down the stretch. Austin Reeves, first game back from injury, had a really bad game. Hit his first three in overtime. Gabe Vincent played at the end of regulation and hit two really big threes, one in the corner, one off of an offensive rebound from Jackson Hayes. And he shot with confidence. Gabe Vincent has always shot with confidence, even if the shot's not falling. And we're starting to see Gabe Vincent play at a better level as he's getting more open shots. And this is the Luka Doncic effect that we're seeing right now.
Lakers fans giving Gabe Vincent respect. That what a turnaround because
Yeah,
early
man.
season he was definitely first on the trade block.
Facts.
Lakers fans wanted him gone,
Facts.
but it's
It,
good to see a turnaround.
it definitely, as you said, it was definitely sad to see Brunson get hurt because it kind of ruined the the game was still really good,
Yeah,
but it would have been a lot better if Jalen Brunson was still on the court. Now, you could say the Knicks would have pulled it out, the Lakers wouldn't have won, the Lakers still would have won. We don't know. All we know is that the Lakers pulled it out in overtime. Um, and this was a really good game. I was tuned in the whole time, and it the Knicks had control of the whole game. And in my mind, I'm thinking the Knicks, at least for the Lakers, match up perfectly on the defensive side of the ball. Uh, Lakers are a team that are targeting matchups, and there's not a lot of, at least in the starting five for the Knicks, there's really not a lot of people that you could target and go at every possession.
no, I mean the only player you could say you could really go at is Brunson, but
Right.
I mean everybody else they're great on ball defenders, and even going at Brunson that's not the best idea. They help well, and they all
Yeah.
know how to play gaps. So yeah, that's a solid defensive team. And even with this loss, I think this is a game they needed against a team above 500. Their record hasn't been the best against teams above 500, but even with this loss, it showed that they can hang. And even though they're not pulling out some of these wins, that don't sleep on them just because of that.
Yeah, I'm happy that the Lakers don't have to play them again this season. They swept the season series 2-0. And I want to talk about the Lakers defense a little bit. We've seen the Lakers in these games after getting Luca. They've identified one guy every game that they're just gonna completely leave open. They're not guarding him behind the arc. It provides extra help for mismatches that are created. Anytime Luca's left on an island, he's looking over his shoulder, seeing which side the help's on, and Jackson Hayes will be right there, outside the paint, right next to the low block. I mean, And last night it was Josh Hart. Josh Hart made some big shots though. Teams are gonna have to either when they played against Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown was unplayable because the Lakers would basically not guard him, force him to shoot threes, and Bruce Brown was not making threes and not doing anything productive on the offensive side of the ball. So he was basically unplayable. Teams are gonna have to decide if you're gonna take this player out of the game and play without him, or that player is gonna have to make some big shots like Josh Hart did last night.
Yeah, but I mean, even with the 3-point line and Josh Hart shot 2 for 6 from three. That's livable. Like you'll survive for sure. But I think that also just JJ Redick just taking his time to go through, game day, watch these players, know their abilities, and being able to recognize that and live with opportunities like that. I think that's an important reason they're on this win streak. Um, I don't know if you saw this in the game when Josh Hart hit one of his clutch corner threes. He pointed at JJ
Point at
Redick,
JJ, yeah.
and then they came back down and hit a three. He pointed at him back. And when your coach has the fire like that,
Yeah,
man, I
JJ's
don't know.
not that far removed from playing basketball.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he's not.
he's a pretty young coach, and man, I love watching JJ, man. I love watching JJ's Lakers.
Yeah, no,
I feel like I feel like oh, did you see Josh Hart on the podcast with Brunson? He said, he was basically hating on JJ before the game because before that Nuggets game, after the Nuggets game, JJ, was saying, he wasn't sleeping, putting hours in watching film and coming up with the
mhm.
game plan for this game. Josh Hart said, man, something around the lines of he was probably asleep at 10 o'clock. Like he wasn't doing all that. He just saying that just to sound good as a coach, basically.
I, these players are talking on these podcasts recently has not been going well for them. I think they need to just leave it on the court. And, but I don't think what we've seen from JJ Redick this season. I don't think he's just bluffing saying that for the media. Like
Facts.
we've seen him be psychotic when it comes to this coaching stuff. And
Right.
I wouldn't say he did not stay up trying to make sure they're prepared for this game.
Yeah.
And even this game, I don't, even with the Knicks not being able to beat good teams, I don't think he's taking them lightly just because of that. He knows what they have on that side of the ball, who they are. So I'm sure he went at them with the same approach and was well prepared, which is why they are able to pull out a victory.
Yeah. Also in this game, we saw during a timeout, LeBron go over and press Stephen A. Hey, if I'm Stephen A, LeBron come over to me like that, I'm shivering in my boots.
Yeah, no, that's a bad look. That's a bad look.
What you think from which side?
I mean, okay, I'm behind. What did Stephen A say about Bronny?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, bro. And,
I
and I saw Stephen A defending himself this morning on First Take,
Yeah,
saying that he wasn't trying to criticize Bronny, like he was criticizing LeBron. But for LeBron to take it like that and take it as Stephen A was criticizing him as a father, he had to say something that was pushing the lines or over the line. Like we've never seen this from LeBron. Like to do this in the stadium mid game.
mid-game.
This is literally on site. This is the definition of on site.
Yeah, like he glanced, he saw him. He was like, he looked at Marquise Morris like, I'm about to go over here, and he went. I mean,
Y-
you could always say they can handle like professionals, talk about it off the court, win game over text, whatever. But I don't, his dad instinct kicked in. You're not about to talk about me criticizing, or you're not about to criticize my son, talk about me as a father. When I see you, I'm going to say something about it. So
Hey,
I'm with
on
it.
site. On site.
I'm with it. Nah,
Yeah,
but
bro.
yeah,
Hey, that was
Stephen
cool.
A. Stephen A. on air defended himself this morning. That was right.
Yeah, his whole tone, his whole demeanor was different. Uh, he wasn't loud.
Nah,
He was very soft spoken.
he
Very
was
careful about his
sorrow.
words. I mean, we saw a different Stephen A. this morning.
He said, I would never criticize LeBron James as a player. Nah, he was that definitely had him a little rattled. He didn't like that.
Had to, had to. Yeah, he said you know, thought maybe LeBron could handle it differently. Sent him a text. LeBron knows how to get a hold of him. But
Yeah,
I mean, at least as a fan, hey, we got to see it. We saw it live on site, as I said.
of course you gonna want to text when somebody press you
Right.
in front of a sold out stadium. But
And of course, somebody was recording.
as soon as LeBron got up off the bench, you knew they was pulling their phones up because they
Yep.
know why is LeBron walking towards somebody that is not in the huddle?
I always wonder, right? You know how Sports Center or ESPN and all that will use fans' videos and stuff sometimes. I wonder, like, how that process works. Like the dude that was taking that video in the stands, I wonder how it got around to Sports Center or ESPN and all of these big sources reaching out to him and getting that video and getting permission to post it.
Usually, it just like will be the fan posting it somewhere, and it just goes crazy. Like usually Twitter or X, you post something sports related like that, it's gonna go crazy. It's just
Right,
the algorithm.
right.
And then once you see, once those big sites see it, they're sending the text, can we use this for our, and boom, that's their video.
That's it.
Yeah, that's simple for them.
Yeah, bro. We know one video like that and hey, yo username famous.
Yeah, you just gained 25,000.
Right, right.
You might as well become a season ticket holder because anything happens, they expect you to have the video of it.
Yeah, bro, you a permanent source after that.
Definitely.
Yeah, bro, but Lakers basketball definitely on a roll right now. Got the Celtics tomorrow. Now, if they beat Boston tomorrow in Boston, we gotta really, really, really look at the Lakers as real contenders. Now, right now, uh, let's say that, they're in the hunt for a championship contention team, but this is still a small sample size. Honestly, they've won nine straight, and they've had two quality wins. I'll give them against the Knicks and the Nuggets. But we got to see more quality wins down this stretch. They got some tough games coming up. Bucks, Celtics, Nuggets again. We'll really see what status this Lakers team is at.
In 7 games, I don't want to see the Lakers. Right now, after the Celtics game, after the rest of the games, I don't care. I don't want to see the Lakers. As a West Grizzlies fan, and as we continue to fall, and if we get matched up with the Lakers, I'm terrified for that series.
Okay, I got a question for you. Right now, the Grizzlies are the four seed, correct? Let me
Yeah,
double check. Grizzlies are the four
unless they
seed.
fell again, but they
Yeah,
should before.
the Grizzlies are the four seed. They're one game ahead of the Rockets at the five seed. So I'm gonna give you five possible teams that y'all could play, and I want you to rank the teams from one being the one you want to play that you would want to play the most, five being the team you don't want to play the most.
All right.
Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets, Warriors, Timberwolves.
Lakers, Warriors, Rockets, T-Wolves, and who?
Nuggets.
Nuggets. Okay. Uh, we want Wolves first. I'm not worried about the Wolves.
Mm,
We're
I
not
don't
worried.
know.
Second,
I feel like the I want that series.
I do want that
Ant
series.
versus Ja, I want that series.
Last time they faced off in a series, 4-2, Grizz. That's all I'm gonna say. Uh,
I don't know if this is the same Grizzlies, but go ahead.
that's
Go ahead. My fault.
that's
Go
all
ahead.
I'm gonna say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Rockets. I like our odds with the Rockets. I'll take that.
Okay.
Nuggets. I I don't want to see the Warriors right now. I I don't want no smoke with the Warriors right now, and I don't want to see LA at all.
Yeah, bro. I mean, with the last three teams, Nuggets, Lakers, Warriors, I mean, that's tough either way.
It
I,
is
I
tough.
don't think I don't know if I have the Grizzlies coming out of any of those series.
I think our only chance of hope would be the Nuggets, and that would be a battle. We're not. We have to fight to win that series. Like
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
every game, we're underdogs that series, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. The Grizzlies are in a tough spot. I mean, if they were still at that two seed, two, two, three seed, it might be a little better for them, especially if they could have secured two. Then maybe you're looking at Clippers, Kings, you know, Clippers, Kings, Timberwolves, something like that. But it looks like the Warriors are gonna extend themselves out of the play-in. They're six seed right now, only half a game ahead of the Timberwolves at seven, but they're 8-2 in the last 10. They're gonna keep climbing, I feel like. Um, it's going to be really interesting to see how these standings finish because even right now, like the Lakers are starting to pull away from some of these other teams, but you know, other than that, anything could change.
Yeah, yeah. No, the Thunder and Lakers, I feel like they're set. Especially if the Lakers continue to dominate the way they are. But 3 through 7, 8, any, no, that's what's the separation there? 2 games, 3 games?
No, no. So it's starting to really kind of spread out. I would say so the Grizzlies are 4 games ahead of the Warriors at six, but the Grizzlies are 3-7 in the last 10. So I
And
mean, it's
4 and 8. We just won.
okay. Well, there's bad math, first of all. It's the last 10. It'll be 4-6.
Well, I was just moving up. I was just crediting our win.
I got you. I got you. So, but that doesn't add another
All right,
loss.
bro.
But
I'm going through a rough time. All right.
I'm just letting you know what.
I
All
just
right.
it's just good to see a win in our column right now. That's
Right.
all.
I got you. I got you. I got you. So, Rockets at 13.5 are 1 game back of the Grizzlies. So from 6 to 9, 2.5 games. Warriors to Kings. From 2 to 5, 3.5 games or 3 games. Lakers to Rockets.
That's not crazy.
That's not a lot at all.
That's not a lot.
Mhm.
That's a quick.
Especially with a lot of these teams are going to play each other.
Yeah. So yeah, you could that's gonna shake up. That 2 through 5 is gonna shake.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely could. Yeah,
It's about to be a fun March, fun couple weeks of April.
yeah, bro. March is about to be a big month of basketball. We obviously got our predictions that we're gonna keep track of. And then after this conference tournament, we got to do some type of bracket. Some type of bracket prediction.
Yeah, once
Uh,
seeding come out, we got to do a bracket prediction.
Facts, so bracket prediction episode, and then we'll close out the NBA stretch into March, headed into playoff time, April. Got a lot of basketball ahead of us,
Yeah.
but for today, that's about it from us. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
See, what's some words of motivation?
Some wisdom of the
Um,
day.
let's see. Keep pushing. Anything you want. If you put your mind to it, you'll get it. And it's not going to come easy, and it's not going to come handed to you. But over time, you'll see it be there for you. And when the opportunity presents itself, take it. Um, I just believe that over time, it's there. If you work, your hard work will pay off. So continue to work hard, and you'll be rewarded for your hard work.
W Mans, W words of wisdom. Wisdom with Watson.
With
Well,
Watson.
that's what we'll call that. Uh, but yeah, man, leave a like on the video, subscribe, turn that post notification bell on so you know when we come out with a new episode. Usually Saturdays and Tuesdays. Sometimes we got to push it back because of personal things going on and conflicts. But yeah, that's about it from us. Peace.